Hi, everybody. This is James. How are you? Happy summer. Hey, because it's summer and, well, it's around the 4th of July and people are going away, taking holidays and vacations and so forth, Kelly and I thought it'd be a great idea to take some time off too. So we're going to take a hiatus for a little bit and figure out new ideas, a new programs, new ways of getting in and keeping things exciting for you. So I wish you a great summer. Enjoy the class. And if you're interested, go to my school, the JP School of Mystical Arts, and find out more about it. Lots of love, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us here today. And so what I want to do today was bring you through a guided meditation. So about an hour ago, I was sitting quiet and it came to me, but they showed me the outline of this journey we're going to be on. And then they always do this to me. They give me the basics, the outlines. And then when I sit in front of the screen here, I start picking up on energy all around. And the meditation or mind journey, I'll call it, is really kind of made from the energy in the room, which I think is great because it's spontaneous that way. And hopefully it'll reach as many people as we can. So I just want to start off with a brief meditation just to bring us centered. If you've never done this before, that's fine. You do it every day. You go, on this earth, we meditate without knowing it. We sometimes drive the car and we don't know the exit we just passed. Like, wait, that's the exit I wanted to get off of, because you're in an altered state, or reading a book and you go back a couple of pages and got to read it. What did I just read? Or watching a movie, you have to rewind. Wait, I just missed a scene or something. Whatever it is, we're constantly in and out of consciousness, if you will. But wouldn't it be great to control that and be more aware of how to do that, right? So we're going to put you into this light altered state. And in that altered state of relaxation, which I love relaxation. We can get it. I get it with massage a lot, I get it with acupuncture, yoga. So I'm bringing you to a space and we'll see what happens. And this is a space where you don't have to do anything. You just have to be passive, and I'm giving you like suggestions. I'll bring you to a space and there'll be beings there to help you, guide you. And again, I don't want you necessarily thinking about it, just experience it. Just experience what's going on. And afterwards we'll talk about what your experiences were. We'll see where we go from there. Okay, so I'm going to ask you all just to close your eyes for just a few moments now. And as you close your eyes, and I'll be doing this with you, as you close your eyes, I want you to become aware of your feet on the floor, of your legs sitting down, of your backs against the chairs or whatever you're leaning against, your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your neck, and your head. Become aware now that you are part of all that goes in that lovely universe within your being, within the shell of this human body, this meat suit, if you will. But within there are all these cells, neurons, muscles, fibers, nerve endings, everything there. And just for a moment, just go down from the top of your head, down slowly to your feet, and send gratitude to every single cell, if you will, muscle, fiber, organ, eyes, ears, nose, lung, throat. Bring it to gratitude, perfection, and thanking it for all the work it does. Throat, shoulders, your lungs, breathing air, your heart, your spleen, your liver, your stomach, your intestines, your kidneys, reproductive area, down to the legs, shins. Right. Just thanking. And just notice subtly what happens as you feel when you give back a thank you and appreciation, how it changes your feelings, your vibration. The whole body should start vibrating. A wonderful way to tune in to your center of your soul is by the breath. The breath is a gift from God, and the breath sustains our life, allows us the freedom to breathe, to move. Life is about movement. So I'd like for you now to visualize, imagine, use your imagination. It's a wonderful gift we're given. That above you and above this whole group, this whole space here, we create a bubble of golden light. That golden light is like a portal to the other realms, spiritual sides where we are meant to be. So as you breathe in, breathing in beautiful life force energy, this golden globe of light, you're going to breathe in through your nose, illuminate every cell, every muscle, every fiber, and just activate that all the way down to your feet. Bring that light all down to the bottom of your feet. And as we exhale out of our mouth, we're going to release and let go of any excess energy, any foreign energy that does not belong to us, maybe somebody else's, any worries or fears or limitations you place upon yourself. You now can give yourself the freedom and the permission to let that go and just become neutralized. So together, imagine this beautiful golden light, this life prana coming in with the inhalation through the nose, and inhale and ride the breath all the way down to your feet and beyond. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let go of all that tension, all that excess energy. And again, and inhale all the way down, bring that new life in the body. And exhale, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Good, and beginning to feel renewed, rebirth, re-enlightened. And inhale, feeling lighter and lighter, easier, calmer. And exhale, let it go, let it go, let it go. Just one more time. Feel wonderful floating feeling, that connection to source, that connection to light. You're a part of that light. Feel that ray of light that you are connected to source. And inhale and exhale. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Good, good. And now keeping your breath in its natural rhythm, just by your own natural ebb and flow. Immediately we find that we are transported to a beautiful space. This is a beautiful building. And this building is a mother of pearl made all around it. There are 4 corners and pillars, mother of pearl. There's no ceiling but pure light and beautiful blue sky. And there are people milling about in chairs, sitting about almost like a theater. It's a meeting space, a connection space. But very important work is done here. They call this the Hall of Illumination, illuminating the minds. The mind is the soul is the mind. And when you find a space in this room, in this space, perhaps you'll find a space that there is a chair there just created just for you, this beautiful hall of illumination. And you might even notice as you go find a chair, and it can be around people or by yourself, whatever's right for you, that as you begin to sit down, look down at the robes that you're wearing. Be aware of the garments that you have on. What does it tell you about your soul? And as we open ourselves up to this space, this lovely illumination hall, we send out a calling to our guides, our spiritual guides. Let's have at least 3 come now. Divine Heavenly Parent, we ask for our teachers, guides, to come to us today, at this particular moment, to stand in front of us. Dear Spirit guides, come so close to us, 3 distinct guides. Whatever the polarity is, you choose to be with us today, to share, to open up, to illuminate your beautiful student. And when you're ready, become aware of a being on your right side that is one of your guides, and they will tell you what they work with you on. What are they doing with your soul? What does your soul need to learn? And then become aware in the middle is another guide. It might look very, very different. Maybe someone you know, or perhaps someone you don't know. It doesn't matter. But tune into their heart, their love for you. And listen to what they say about your soul development. What is it that you need that you could use for your evolvement? What does the self close off? What kind of knowledge, inner wisdom are you ready to receive? Then the third guide to your left could be a very different energy. That's fine. No judgment, just experience. And this guide seems to come from a very high sphere. It's almost as if they're from a very high spiritual world, and they come to illuminate your spiritual potential. Listen now with your heart of what your potential is. And these three guides meld a single thought together, and they share with you a beautiful harmonic thought. Receive this thought. What holds you back from being the best you can be? Why do you not explore the limitations, the illimitations, the openings, the unlimited, unconditional love of your own soul? Is it hard to forgive? Is it hard to feel? Is it hard to see with inner vision? Why do you shut things off? Whose life are you living, if not your own? Why do you choose fear, limitation, instead of love, which is limitless? What do you need to bring balance, contentment, peace to your being this year? And when they are finished with you, you may thank them, and they'll always be with you whenever you need. Just make that connection. Perhaps they'll give you a word, a color. Look at their robes. Maybe they're wearing a specific type of designation, whatever it might be, just for you. Divine heavenly guides, we thank you, dear angels, and bless you for being with us at this moment in space and time to open us up to higher truths, our being. Everything is done with love. And as they leave, they bring a beautiful green light of love and surround you all the way at the top of your head, to the bottom of your feet, and everybody in the room. We send it to all of us as we become one in love. And so it is. And slowly open up your eyes and be as one.
And today I wanted to share with you something which I'm so happy to share with you, in that many people out there in the public have a question about psychic mediums. So I'm going to share with you my opinion of that, in that a psychic medium, I think, is a wrong term, okay? Because a medium, every medium is psychic. Not every psychic is a medium. So every single one of us is psychic. In that, what is psychic? Psychic is intuition. The word intuition means into the soul. So it's your soul's language. And we all have that instinct. It's our sixth sense. We're born with it. It's our survival. That's how we are able to survive, because our mothers have a telepathic, intuitive, or instinctive connection with us. We're very connected. That's really intuition, psychic. It's labels, but there you go. So you know when all of a sudden you get a phone call and you know who's on the other end of it, or perhaps you get an invoice or bill in the mail, when we have mail, or even online, and you don't open it, but you know the amount it is, right? That's your intuition. Or you think of someone, all of a sudden they reach out to you. Intuition. We use intuition every day. And there are ways of using your intuition, practicing your intuition in practical and fun ways. For instance, if you're looking for, let's say you go to a store and you want a sale on, I don't know, jeans,
and you've never been in the store before, try to intuit where it is in the store. Where is it located? What aisle is it in? What location in the store should I go to? Or another great one is you're making reservations at a restaurant which you've never been to. Try and intuit what the restaurant looks like on the inside, what the formation is, what the wallpaper or the walls look like. Become even more detailed in your intuitive sense about what the host or hostess looks like, where your table will be. When you're sitting at your table, what are you going to be looking at? Yeah? Even going as far as what is the menu going to be like? Just try to intuit what kind of specials they're going to have without knowing anything. Another one, of course, is like we're a building with many elevators there. Try to intuit which elevator is going to be first that comes in. So there are all these different ways that you can use your intuition, your sixth sense, and build that muscle up. And the more you develop that muscle, the stronger it becomes. So that's psychic. Now, psychic for most people is easy. It's that sense of knowingness. I feel a certain way. It's what we call clairsentience, is clairfeeling. So you're really your solar plexus. It's what's being used here. This is the power center for psychic work. Think of it also this way, that every one of us are radios. We receive signals and we give out signals. We receive signals and give out signals. And the more open that we are and more developed in our psychic self, we'll be able to recognize those signals coming in, whose signals they are, whose transmissions they are, and be able then, of course, to send out the right responses. So very important to know the signals and what you're feeling, what you're sensing. It helps in every aspect of your life. It really does help with the choices you make in your life, because life is a series of choices, and you will intuitively know what feels right, what doesn't feel right. If you're going to move into a new apartment or a house, what feels right, what feels not right. A new job, what feels right to me, what doesn't feel right. This person that you're looking at, are they right for me? Are they not right for me? You'll feel it. Again, the more you start using that part of yourself, that sense, the stronger it will become. Now, mediumship, this is another one. So mediumship, every medium has a strong foundation of psychic, of intuition. I remember as a child, I was always very intuitive first. I would know who's going to come to dinner when someone would show up. I would know what friend was sick from school. I would know things were going to happen before they happened. It really was pretty shocking. I knew the JFK assassination was going to happen before it happened. I was 5 years old. And I said to my mother, someone would be shot in the head. And it happened 2 days later. I mean, things like that happened all the time, but I was highly intuitive, and many mediums are. So what mediumship is, and the difference is that when you're a medium, you work with a higher frequency or higher energy. Psychic work is kind of a lower range. It's fine, it's great work, it's intuition, but when you work as a medium, you build up the frequency, the vibration, the energy to such a point. Because what is energy, basically? Energy are molecules that vibrate at a certain rate, at a certain speed. And every day, psychic work, we vibrate at a certain level. But when you work with mediumship, you have to bring up that vibration, that frequency with the mind. And you really work with energetically to bring up that energy to a certain level, to a higher frequency of being. You place your mind as higher frequency. And once you get to that higher frequency, you need to sustain that higher frequency and stabilize it at that level. Not easy to do. So you have to learn to practice that and develop to stay at that higher level. The reason it's called mediumship is because you're raising your vibration to a certain level. The spirit world lower their vibration to meet you halfway in the middle, medium, right? So it's in the middle. They will meet you halfway. Not easy to do for us because our natural frequency, energetic beings we are, is a lower vibration. This three-dimensional physical world is a very slow, moving, dense vibration. Not our natural, really, it's not really natural, but in this three-dimensional box we're in, this physical world, it vibrates slower. The moment we're released from here, when we go home at the end of life, we go to this faster vibration. And for many people, they come back to this level like, oh, I don't want to go near there again. It was so slow and dense. So as a medium, one has to develop and learn to bring themselves up to that higher level and to sustain it. Not easy, but it comes with practice and development. And also another very important part of mediumship is to be able to have the discernment between what's I'm thinking of here in my head or what's coming from the spirit world. And part of that is if you're thinking about it, you're in your head. You're not doing mediumship, because mediumship is open. It's surrendering. It's allowing yourself to be in that higher level and not thinking about it. Because if you're thinking about it, you're in the human. You're not in the spirit, right? So the difference between those two, and many people don't know this, and I've seen this on television, I've seen these demonstrations with mediums, I say, quote, mediums, who don't understand the technical mechanics of mediumship. And they'll be giving a wonderful mediumship message with details, evidential details, and then they'll drop down the psychic, say, and your mother said, you're getting a job next week, and there's going to be 3 people in that job, and you're also going to be moving, and it's more psychic, it's more forecasting, it's the here and the now. And they don't realize they've just dropped down to the psychic, which is much easier for a lot of people, right? I love psychics, it's great, but we got to know the difference between being in the mediumistic aspects and being in the psychic aspects. 2 very different things. So the term, by the way, psychic medium, it's an oxymoron for me because, again, every medium is psychic. So I'd assume they're going to be psychic, because why would we see them if they're not? So I would say more medium, evidential medium, or just medium, spiritual medium, which I call myself. That's the right terminology. You know, I'm someone who is very much involved with integrity and teaching and bringing things out the right way, the correct way to other humans in this world. Don't put out misinformation, right? So part of that is correcting that which I see. And another thing, it's very important that, you know, there are mediums out there, I see, they just want to be famous. I want a TV, I want this. The wrong reason. Do it for the service of humans. That's really it. And once you do the work in the right way and of service, the spirit world will always take care of us. So tell us, when do you first, to start for the audience, when do you first start with mediumship, and did you experience when you were a little girl, or how did it all start for you?
Yeah. Well, I've been a medium since I was born. I remember seeing animals float when they would die, and that was just a normal. I never thought it just was. Yeah. And that was, you know, I remember as far back as about 3.5 when I first saw that. And we had land. And so we used to see animals, you know, transition. At 4.5 years old, I got locked in an unplugged freezer in a garage.
I have to tell you, when I read that part of the book, I kind of froze. It was, and that's how you start the book with this.
Yeah, you told that. Tell that story again. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, it's long, but I'll tell it really. I'll cut it short. I'll tell it short. I got locked in the freezer by some boys, and they closed the garage door and they ran home. Our garage was separated from our house. So my mom heard you babies in the freezer. She had this gift. My sister, my brother, they all had it. But she didn't listen because they locked my mom up for this gift and medicated her. So she wasn't listening. And I remember screaming at the top of my lungs. I saw 3 beautiful bright lights, and they told me to stop screaming. And then another bright light, I didn't stop. And another bright light was there of the 3, the strongest one said, stop screaming. Very lovingly, we're going to get your mommy. And then I heard, but first we're going to, and I just kind of disappeared from my body. Now, they say I was in there anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours. I'm sure it's somewhere in between.
Wow.
Yeah. And I went into the bottom of a stairway, and I was looking up these stairs, and I was looking at a Roman Greco room. Now, keep in mind, I didn't know that then. I was a child, but I understand it now. And I knew in the middle of that was a well. And it's so interesting because I call it the well. I said to Raymond or Dr. Moody, I didn't see a tunnel. Why didn't I see a tunnel? I was so disturbed by that. And he said, do you ever think about the well was probably your tunnel? And I was blown away when he said that. I mean, it was so shocking. And anyway, I saw prayers and words and movement, and I asked where I was, and they said, you're in the room of heart's desires. And I could see people like DNA, their words and their prayers. You know, my mom's dying of cancer. Please save her life. I want a new car. I'm turning 16. Tell my dad to get me one. And it was all intermingled like one consciousness. And A lot of backstory in that. And then I flashed to this road called the Yellow Brick Road, which I saw humans paving the path, and there was pyramids, and they were pulling from the bottom of these pyramids. And I just innately knew that was their life balance. It was their life journey, and they were unbalancing it. Wow. And I saw them drop to their knees and ask for help. And I watched the angels, which crossed me over and brought me back, come in and start pulling from the top of this pyramid, and it would recreate itself. And they put all the pavers back to the bottom that everyone else was using to pave their path, and rebalancing their life journey. And then I saw them paving, and they said, "We are the pavers, you are not. All you have to do is walk it." And I said, "How do you know if you're walking it right?" And they said, "We bless and we block everything. What you try to control controls you. What you run from chases you. So all you need to do is shift. And if you shift and see another wall, shift again. And if you see another wall, shift again. And before you know it, we'll be paving your path. You think," and they pointed to what I thought was my head, but I'm not sure I had one. "You think you know what's best for you." And they covered their hearts with this energy, I can't explain it, and said, "We know what's best for you." And then I flashed into the room of knowledge, which is the Akashic records. I don't relate to that word. I called it the room of knowledge. And I saw tablets, like virtual book tablets, coming at people. Wow. And they were opening them, and they were making plans, and they were overdoing it. And I could hear the angels and the people in that room, the spirits in that room, saying to them, "Oh no, sweetie, I don't think you want to do all that." "Oh, I can, I know I can." I Wow. Call it the PhD in hardship. Chose wow. that. Yeah. And then a lot went on in that room, and then poof, they were gone. And then I went to the room of companions, were animals. And then I was in a field. You know those flowers that you blow on and make wishes?
Dandelions.
Dandelions.
Yes. Yeah. Dandelions and daisies. And I was in this field, and I looked to my left, and there was a mountain, and this beautiful entity was on that mountain. And I wanted so bad to go up that mountain, but I started to see its essence, light essence, come towards me, and it was enveloping me. And then an angel came out and said, "It's time to go." And she explained to me that we're going to go through the water. I'm cutting this really short because it would take an hour to tell the story.
Keep going.
Yeah, and she told me I was going to go through the water. She told me I was going to have a difficult life journey, and that I was going to help people with it. And I didn't want to go. And then she said, "But you're going to see your mommy." And I got into the water. It was a river, and they bid me goodbye. And the next thing I know, my mom was pulling open the freezer door, spun me around. I didn't know. She said I was ashen and not breathing. And she went to go get a phone because there were no cell phones. So she was screaming, and my sister came running out, and I hit the floor, and I cracked open my jaw and took a breath.
Oh.
My mom said I was blue and ashen, both. And all my nail beds, everything was blue, and ashen means drained of blood, basically, of life.
And drained of vital life force, gone.
Yeah. And she said all my colors started to come back, and I started breathing. And
how old were you when this happened?
4.5. Almost 5, a couple months away from 5.
Well, let me just tell you, my granddaughter is 4.5. So just hearing the story is traumatic. But I can imagine a 4.5-year-old going through this when 4.5-year-olds don't have the capacity for something like this. It's an extraordinary story that happened.
Well, you know, when I first started writing the book, I thought it was going to be a labor of love, but it was actually a labor of pain.
I bet.
You started the book a while ago, didn't you? You started it quite a bit ago, your book. I mean,
it's been about a year.
Yeah, I thought you were like...
Well, 2 years now. 2 years.
You wanted to write it for a while. I remember that. You wanted to write it. But I remember you were worried about what you were going to write about.
I know. I never thought about writing about my experience, but I remember seeing the first time I saw you, James. I told you this, but I have to say it to everyone. You walked directly up to me and said, "You've had a near-death experience. You've got spirits all around you, and you talk to them, and you need to face this. You need to look at this. They're everywhere." And you told me a little bit about my experience as a child. You didn't say as a child, you just said my experience. You told me a few things, and I thought, this guy's good.
Yeah,
that was my first
15 years ago.
That was my first introduction to you. Actually, it was a long time ago. It could have been even longer.
A class we were in together, or
something. But I think you were teaching it or helping someone
I was
teach it?
teaching you, and I remember your energy when I first saw you, and I connected right with you. I loved your light. I remember when I saw you in the, you were one of the participants of the students, and I remember, I walked right up to you. I remember that. We got a click right
Yes.
away.
Yes, and you told me one day you're going to be a wonderful medium. You're going to be a great medium, and people are going to know your name. And I thought, he's crazy. It's not going to happen. That I thought you were crazy. He's just being nice, is what I thought. And then, yeah. And then the second time I took a class with you that you were actually teaching on your own, and I said to you, I want to write a book, and you said you must. And so I did.
What was it like for you to actually put down those deep experiences that you share in the book? What was that like?
And did you want to share those experiences? Because a lot of that stuff you don't want to share, but did you? It's very vulnerable, as Kellee knows. It's a very vulnerable.
It's very vulnerable, and I read a lot of your books, Susan, and parts of it that you go into your story. My heart just was like really open to hear this story. It was. I see why you're such a great medium, because you need to have those, when you have those type of experiences, you've got to do something with them. And your story, people will relate to your story.
So today we're going to talk about psychometry. Now, what is psychometry? Well, as I've said before, everything is energy. Everything has energy. So we are energy. Our energy goes on the objects that we wear, like the rings we have, or the watches, or the clothes that we are wearing. Our energy stays on that. So I know there are many psychics who work with the police, and part of many times what they need are an article of clothing from the person that disappeared or that was left, and they will read the energy from that object and be able to tune into that. So the idea of today is really called psychometry, reading the energy of an object. Now, as you approach a psychometry, there are different ways to go about it. Number one, of course, you're going to start reading. When you read, you go into your space of knowingness. So I'm going to do that with you. So I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm going to run my energy again. I'm bringing my energy up from Mother Earth, bringing it right up my feet. Very good, to my heart. I'm also bringing down now the light of this beautiful cosmic energy, the beautiful golden light. I'm going to use my breath to enhance running my energy. Remember, as the energy comes down from the head, up in the feet, meet at the heart, where they intermingle and throw out in front of you and down to Mother Earth. There's running energy, this running cycle. So I'm going to do that. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, and inhale, and exhale. And now as I do that, I feel like I'm in my space of knowingness. I'm in my space of receptivity. And in a way, it's like the door will open up for you now that you put kind of your mindset into that space. Now, as you go about reading an object, there are two things. You can read an object, as we're going to do in a second here, but before you do that, you have to decide, how are you going to read the article? Are you going to read the history of the article, or are you going to read the owner that owned that article? I'll show you a different way of doing it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read the energy that I feel from the article, whether that's the history of the article, whether it was a wedding gift, whether it was a gift someone gave to their family member, whether it was just found somewhere. So I'll try to attempt to read psychically the energy that's on the object. The second thing I might do, and we'll have to find this from the articles that I connect with, I might also pick up, as I'm connecting with the energy psychically of that object, I might pick up a spirit that had that article in their house or on that person or that belonged to them, and I might make that connection with the spirit who owned it. If that does happen, what you want to do is you want to put that article down and establish your link with the spirit and continue. So that's a little bit different. So we'll see what happens. The second thing or third thing we're going to do on this time together is not only am I going to read the object, the article, but I'm going to attempt also to then read a human being. In this case, it'll be Linda, because the article that I'm reading, I'll be able to maybe pick up the history, what the energy is telling me, but we can't validate any of that as well. So I really want to do something where I can show you how you can validate when you read a person. So again, it's another divination tool. It's a way of just tuning into the knowingness, just like tarot cards, astrology, charts, crystals, scrying water, runes. It's just another divination technique. It's a good one because it gets you right into that sense of knowingness. Now, what I'm not going to do now is take off my own jewelry, so it's not influencing anything that I get. I'm feeling my sense of knowingness is getting stronger, and I'm just going to get to it. I'm just going to feel wherever I want to go into the store here, what I want to pick up first. So For some reason, this teapot here, and I haven't done this before, I'm just going to here. So the first thing I get is I'm going to go with this teapot. I'm holding it, and as I hold it, I already pick up the energy that's around this, an emotion of real love, 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 love. I pick up this object. I feel as if this was given as a birthday present to somebody. I feel it was given to a mother, or I have a grandmother feeling here, and I feel it was definitely a birthday celebration. I feel the birthday celebration would have been in an April time, and I feel that this would have been on a shelf many times, and I feel it would have been like the second or third shelf into a room. And the room would have been a kind of a dining area, but there'd be an opening, also a doorway into a living room. So I know I'd be, as I'm becoming, and I'm becoming, psychically becoming, almost like the object, okay? So in this case, I'm on a shelf, and as I look, I can see that to my right side, there's a doorway, and I'm looking into a living room. I think it was very well cared for. I feel like I'm part of a set. So I feel like there definitely are some cups and some saucers that did indeed belong to this. And it's so funny because I hold this, I just really think of the Disney movie with the, you know, with the teapot and the cups and this sort of thing, because it feels like it's by itself. I know there was a great love here. I know there was a birthday present. I know this belonged to a lady who liked to collect other antiques as well. I do have a feeling that the person that owned this is no longer here in this earth. I feel she definitely passed over. I also feel there would be a connection with the name of Hazel with this, and I know that there would be some April's strong connection with this, and I feel like there would have been 3 to 4 children in the family. Isn't that interesting? I do feel there would have been 2 or 3 generations of people that own this. Not that it's very old, because I don't feel it's very old, but I feel there are 2 or 3 generations of people that have owned this. So I don't think it came originally from the store. I think it was passed on in some way. And that's what I get from this. And I open up inside. So it has been used many times for tea, so you can see that. So it's very interesting, because as I was holding this here, I felt a lot of communication. I felt a lot of sentiment, emotion of people connecting. So I see a round table, and I feel like it would have been like a tea party, where there would have been some kind of a communication between some friends or family, and I feel like this would have been used for that indeed, and most likely tea would be. I do feel as if there were not only, how can I say this, American teas, but foreign teas, and especially India. So that's really interesting. And I feel like the person who had this object would have liked to have traveled around the world. So this person and the husband would like to travel around the world. That's what I'm seeing. Very much so. So that's that object. That's what that's telling me. Let me try another one and see what I get. So I'm going to take this object, put it back here. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to rub my hands to get any excess energy and left over. I just want to bring it down to Mother Earth. And now I'm going to ask, Linda, you know nothing about that object, do you? No. Okay, great. So let me see what else I get here. Okay. I don't know, I'm just going to feel where we're going at here. Okay, so I am picking here a butterfly, and I feel this is a dish, and I feel that was used for, I know it looks like you put cooking utensils on here, probably, that sort of thing. But I'm also feeling jewelry with this. So I'm feeling they could have put rings or bracelets. And I don't feel that this was actually used for what it was meant for. And I think what it was meant for is putting a hot ladle or a soup spoon on it or something hot. Because I feel that this was really loved by somebody. And I feel it might have been on top of a dresser. And I feel like I'm putting my rings on here. Okay. I also have a connection here. It's very interesting. I have a connection here with Northern California. Interesting. Northern California, I feel here. And I know that the person who owned this did love butterflies. I feel, again, it was a woman, and I feel as if she bought it for herself. I don't feel it was a gift. I feel that she bought it for herself. I feel like she definitely has a sister connected with her. I do feel, again, this lady's in the spirit world. I do know that, and this is very interesting, when I did the show Ghost Whisperer, that the reason I created that antique store for Ghost Whisperer was because every object has a story. It has an energy. And I know that the owner of this, and I'm sure many of the objects that come in here, Linda, I don't mean to scare you or anything, you don't need to be scared, but they come and they sometimes will look around and see where their old object was or how someone is taking care of it. And that's what I feel. I feel very sentimental with this. I feel like the lady who owned this kind of looked at a store when she got this, and I feel it was this is really interesting, in a counter, and it was a glass counter, and I feel like I'm looking down. I feel this would have been late 60s, and I feel it's in a kind of department store, and there's a countertop, a glass top, and I feel like it's on the second shelf, I'm looking down, like, oh, I like that. And I do feel this is on display with other objects that had butterflies, and I know those are the kitchen objects around it, but I know that has the other patterns of this somewhere around. I do see that. I do see that. And I really love that feeling of that a lot. And I just feel like I want to honor it. And that feels very strange, but that's what it is. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, one more. Where should I go next? So let me... Okay, let's get this lovely necklace here. This lovely necklace. Let's see how much it charges for this one there, Linda. Can't read it. So let me tell you what I feel with this. So I'm feeling the energy definitely. Oh, how interesting. I'm feeling very, very much the energy of this. Of course, it's on here, but I feel this has been picked up and looked at by many, many people in this store. Is that right, Linda?
Yes.
Yes. Because I feel as if I'm coming up and going down, and going up and going down. I definitely feel as if this was a hard one for a woman, and I feel a young woman. I don't feel older woman, I feel a younger woman. And I feel it was, again, a birthday present, or a gift for herself for her birthday. And I just got a feeling it was hard for her to give this up. But saying that, I feel there was a cleaning of a collection. So interesting. Sometimes you'll feel when you do psychometry articles, you'll feel as if it's the leftover from an estate, or someone passed away and they brought things to articles to a thrift store, to a place to sell to other people. Not this. I feel this is part of jewelry, more than just this piece. I feel there was other pieces of jewelry. I feel the earrings, I feel the necklaces, and I definitely feel it was just changed to move on, transition. I don't feel someone passed away with this. I feel it was younger, and I feel just cleaning things out. I just get a lot of party feeling of like joy and happiness and running around here. I feel there's definitely a connection to the East Coast with this. Definitely. I feel as though I almost was bought twice in the store. Twice. So I don't know if Linda will remember this, but I feel like I was almost bought twice. It was purchased twice. I know it sounds very strange, but it's just the energy. I feel as if this comes in many different colors. I feel as if this was repaired once. So that's really interesting. But that could have been a repair made once, this object. I feel like there was a red-haired woman, younger woman, who owned this. And I definitely feel that this person would like to dress up as well. And I feel like I'm very wealthy. I do feel very wealthy with this. And I got to tell you, there might be earrings that match, or something should wear the same earrings with this. And that's what I get. So those are things the object is telling me. Okay? So that's how the object is telling you. So you can read the history of the object, and it's just energy that I'm picking up. All right? And next I would like to show you how to read a person through an article, through psychometry. Now, you could do this by either holding their hand and pick up the energy that way, or you can use an article that belongs to them, because it's just the energy that you're reading. So when you go into the knowingness, you can connect with that person, the heart to heart, as we did earlier, and we changed things around. You can connect with them as psychic receptivity, but remember, you're just reading the article's energy, the person's energy. Okay? Okay, let's go. So another way to use psychometry is to use an article from somebody. And this is Linda is going to help us out here. Linda, guinea pig, thank you. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. You do this with your friends, or some of you don't know, it'd be good too. But this is how it's done, okay? So I'm getting into my knowingness space. I'm running my energy as I've done before. And I became very receptive, being in that knowingness. And I'm picking up now, I'm going to ask you for an article of yours, so you have a ring. Okay, so a ring. So I'm going to feel the energy of the ring, and that also allows me to feel very much here with her heart. Oh, I'm going to cry, so I feel an overwhelming. The program I'm picking up from Linda is cry, 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 cry. Emotional, emotional, emotional. I'm a very emotional person. There was a child before that passed over or miscarried beforehand?
Yes.
Because that child is around, okay? So I need to let you know that. I think it's a girl. I got to tell you that. And I feel that person, that spirit is around you, helping you out, okay? I know that your boy is very enlightened, and I know he's very much a philosopher in his own way. And I know that he'd like philosophy, and as he gets older, he will like philosophy. You're someone, I don't know if you were raised with 5 in your family. Mm-hmm. You were, weren't you?
Very good.
Yeah, I'm a professional. So there's a 5, because I'm feeling it's all from this ring, and I'm just going into that knowingness of 5. You're one of 5. And I feel definitely mom and dad on the other side of life. Now, I know, is your dad there?
My dad is.
But your mom's here? Then his mother's with him. So she must be shorter or smaller,
yes,
because of like this lady's here.
Yes.
She's right here.
Yes.
So now isn't it interesting? I'm picking up the spirit, so I want to be... I'm going to stay with the article, though. I want to stay with the psychometry, because I'm going to tell you have a great heart. You have a really, really good heart. But I also want to tell you that you've got to be careful with your heart, because you overdo things and you get pangs in the heart. Does it make sense to you? So I feel like I'm a little out of breath sometimes. And I'm like, and that's a sign of you overdoing things. You're really, really good. You're a giver, 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 giver. And you give to to the end of the days. You really do. I know you work really hard here, but that's who you are. That's who you're known. That's what you do. And you were raised that way too, okay? I know your dad, I got him in here because his dad is around her all the time. There must have been, as I'm picking up here, you're so responsible. There's a responsibility here. You take care of everybody. But you also, you're a very responsible person. I trust you with anything. Do you do the checkbook? Do you do the payments, the checkbooks and all that? Because you're someone with the numbers that would be carrying the whole business. You really would. I know your son and your husband are here, but you're the one who really does it. You really do. They're supporting your vision. Yes. I know this is a vision of yours. I don't know if it was 11 years ago that you felt you had to do this. 11 years ago. So that would be 2005, 2004.
Could be. He was diagnosed in late 2002, and
so 2004 there would have been, because I get 11.
Realizing that this is ridiculous, what we have to go through, and something has to be done.
To learn to teach people. Well, you've made up for lost time and then some. So it's really, really good. I know that there'll be another shop open, so I don't know if you've been talking about opening another shop or opening another store somewhere.
Yes, we want to open 5.
You will. Oh, you want to open 5. I know you had that, because you're definitely going to be opening another one. I see it right happening. Okay. And I definitely feel, just as I'm feeling that, I'm feeling also that you're this is funny, musically inclined sometimes, or want to be musically inclined, or I'd like to, I sing by myself.
Only in the car.
And I don't want people to know it, but I'm musically inclined. I really want to be sing in the shower, but I have that energy. I want you to, this is so funny when I'm picking up, there must have been trouble with your feet, or your ankles, or something with the bottom of your feet, or if you have flat feet, and that's been either bothering you lately, or there's been something going with your feet.
It actually used to give me problems, and ever since I started working here, for some reason, whether I'm taking care of myself, putting more supplements in me, it doesn't hurt as bad.
I just want to support your feet more. And this is interesting. I get support. That could be symbolic as well, but I feel like you need a little more support. So, and I feel like the arches need support. It's really the arches. The arches
are important. That's why I don't wear heels. I wear shoes.
You wear shoes. Okay. Because I definitely feel like the arches are really, really important to you. Okay. I also want to ask you. Hold on now. Now I'm going to show you what it's like to. If I have a link here with the spirit world, what I would do in that case. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you back your article. Okay. So that's psychometry, but I also have to be honest to the spirit who's coming in, because I know your father is right here, and the spirit will use any opportunity to come through. And me as the intuitive, I know that we're working with the psychic and the psychometry, but I also have to bring your father and his mother through here, because I just got to give a message, because this might be the only time they'll be able to come through, that this mother wants me to tell you that she loves you very much, and in some ways she didn't know you until after she passed over. Okay?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does. We were close, but she didn't really know me because we never weren't around each other as much as my other grandma.
And there's a Lucy or Lucilia, or it's Lucy somewhere. I don't know who that is. Lucilia. Your other grandmother's passed over as well. One that you knew very well. Whether your mother's mother that passed over. That you know really well. Yes. I see kitchen stuff with her. I see her making things.
Always in the kitchen.
I don't know why I'm making a dress here too, but I am making dresses being responsible for making clothes for the family. And I know that one more thing, I have to go with the spirit, so this is interesting. I would just say that your father is speaking high praises to you. Did he ever smoke cigarettes or
when
smoke?
When he was young.
Who died of cancer? The cancer?
Oh, that was my brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law died of cancer, and did he smoke as well? Did he have
cigars? Not cigars.
Because I know I'm smoking here. I don't know what I'm smoking, but I know that played a part in the cancer, and I know I can't breathe toward the end. I know that you must own a watch of someone's. I know you have lots of watches here.
I have a clock, a watch.
Is a clock belong to your dad or a grandma or what?
An uncle.
An uncle.
But he's still here.
No, I don't like that. I like a watch. Don't like a watch. I don't know what that is.
There's a watch of my dad's it's not mine, it's in my mom's house.
Okay, so I would like you to have it.
Oh.
He's saying I'd like for you to have it.
You know what? I used to give him the watches. I used to be the one that bought him most of his watches. He may have bought one or two, but I gave him most of the watches.
But he's just coming through my mind. He's placing that sense of a watch here. So again, I don't know how to interpret that. Sometimes we have to be open to whatever it is, and you can't be afraid to interpret it. So I want to thank him for coming into the space here. I know that your dad is watching over you and the family, and the boy here. And I don't know if there's a piano. Would you like a piano around your house?
We have a piano in our house.
Okay, so he's mentioning about a piano, and I want him to do something with a piano. I don't know if he's doing lessons or he wants to start doing the piano, but I would like for Miles to do something with the piano. So I like that, and your dad's helping out, okay? I don't think your dad was understood fully either when he was alive, because your dad feels to me as if he behaved one way, he was a certain way, and he looked a certain way, but inside was a very different person. You know that. And you really helped him in ways that you wouldn't know now, but just, you're very different than the rest of your siblings.
Yes.
You know, you stand out. So it's really important, and you really helped your dad on the spirit side of life.
I truly believe he's beside me.
He's a guide.
And he's the one that's helped me do this. He's placed me
Without
here.
a doubt. Because he wouldn't give a lot when he was alive on the earth. It was one he had to take care of himself, and he's in his own little world, and this gives him the opportunity to help other people. And he needs that. And he needs that for his progression too. And you need this for your soul as well. So good work, my love.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there we go. So that's a little bit of psychometry there with an article of someone that belongs. You can validate it, and that went into the spirit. So you got a bonus on that one. So thank you, Linda. Really appreciate it.
You.
Thanks, honey. Okay. And I'm so passionate about this work that I've decided that my legacy, I got to leave the world something besides my books. So I created the JVP School of Mystical Arts, an online community where I actually have 3 different courses. One is on psychic intuition work, and the other is on mediumship certification. I have a psychic portals. Please check them out if you'd like to, and see which resonates with you, if you'd be interested in delving into that a little further, because I think it'd be very valuable for you if you're on your journey, your path, and you're looking for insights. So I welcome you, and I hope you'll join me, and I'll see you in school. Thank you very much.